You understand? He's gonna give them enough information, whereas that it's gonna make him look like the choir boy.
But Ashton Kutcher was also involved with Abercrombie and Fitch. I think it's Mr. Jeffries who's just been done for trafficking.
Puffy, or Diddy, have been friends for decades. And they've done movies together, they've hung out together, and he can't say anything because he's one of those guys. Remember I did that story last week, like, where are all Diddy's friends? Because the silence is deafening. A lot of them don't want people looking into their closet, but Ashton doesn't want the blowback that he got with Danny Masterson.
All right, so pretty tepid in how they reply. Meantime, we're hearing Diddy's ex, Cassie, is cooperating with the feds during this investigation.
100%.
What more is she saying, Paula?
She's not saying anything. So here's the deal. She had sued him for sex trafficking, a bunch of horrible laundry list of stuff.
Hollywood is unraveling, and Ashton Kutcher's name is now being dragged into the storm. For years, he's maintained a clean, tech-savvy, philanthropic image. But with the walls closing in on his longtime friend Diddy, new allegations are surfacing that could shatter his career and personal life. But Kutcher isn't the only name being whispered behind closed doors. The deeper you look, the more disturbing this story becomes. Could this be the biggest Hollywood cover-up in decades?
They have to process everything that was recovered from the homes, but I also was suspecting that they're issuing subpoenas to a lot of people right now to get a better understanding of what that looks like. And if that's the case, and Ashton Kutcher was issued a subpoena, then no wonder he wouldn't be saying anything about Diddy right now either, right?
Well, that's right. And, let's underline the significance of those raids, okay? We have the Fourth Amendment that says that unreasonable searches and seizures are prohibited in this country.
Behind bars, Diddy is making desperate moves. Prosecutors allege he's been using other inmates' phone accounts to reach out to key witnesses, a clear sign that he's either trying to cut a deal or silence people before they can testify. Insiders claim that federal agents have compiled hours of recorded footage from Diddy's infamous parties, where Hollywood's biggest names allegedly participated in shocking, illegal activities. The million-dollar question is Ashton Kutcher on those tapes? Reports suggest that Diddy is prepared to name names to save himself, and Kutcher, once one of his closest friends, is high on the list.
More backlash today for Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis after their video explaining why they wrote letters of support for convicted rapist Danny Masterson. The actors were criticized for calling their former co-star a role model, among other things. And the consensus is that video didn't help.
We are aware of the pain. A couple months ago, Danny's family reached out to us and they asked us to write character letters to represent the person that we knew for 25 years so that the judge could take that into full consideration relative to the sentencing.
If there's one thing to notice in Hollywood, it's who goes quiet when a scandal breaks. And right now, several high-profile stars have gone radio silent. Leonardo DiCaprio, another longtime friend of both Diddy and Kutcher, has suddenly stopped engaging in public appearances. Sources claim that he, too, has been subpoenaed. Could his name also be tied to these investigations? DiCaprio and Kutcher were part of an exclusive Hollywood circle known as the Brat Pack, a group that allegedly attended Diddy's most secretive and exclusive parties. Some claim that Diddy recorded everything, meaning if anything illegal happened at those events, DiCaprio and Kutcher might already be caught on tape.
There are already concerns about his mental state. As he has begun serving his time, he was remanded immediately in court, and now police are concerned.
They are watching him.
Side watch.
What are you talking about?
When you sit with your friends and you know when their sentences are about to end.
In the wake of the allegations, Netflix fired Masterson. His character Rooster written off.
So you got two choices. Either take that bag and disappear, or you could just disappear.
Then there's Ellen DeGeneres. She left Hollywood just as Diddy's case exploded, relocating to England with her wife, Portia de Rossi. At first, she blamed her move on the political climate in the U.S., but new leaks suggest otherwise. Did Ellen know what was coming? Was she fleeing to escape the fallout? And if Ellen had inside knowledge, did she warn Kutcher before it was too late? Meanwhile, Mila Kunis is reportedly reconsidering her...
When I checked him on some of the stuff that he did.
What about Ashton Kutcher? Because Ashton Kutcher, who I believe could possibly just as bad. Ashton Kutcher as well. Listen, he's not guilty of this, but he arranged a date. He was late for that date. And when he got to the girl's house, he looked through the window. She was stabbed 47 times. The man ended up getting charged, but Ashton Kutcher was also involved with Abercrombie and Fitch. I think it's Mr. Jeffries who's just been done for trafficking. Ashton Kutcher was also friends with Brittany Murphy, who also was friends with P. Diddy, who also died the same death as Kim Porter.
Future with Kutcher. After the Dannys. Masterson backlash, sources claim she's furious that her husband's past friendships and associations are once again dragging them into controversy. Some insiders say that Kunis is looking at homes in Europe, preparing for a possible escape from Hollywood before things get worse. If that's true, does she know something the public doesn't? The allegations against Kutcher go far beyond his friendship with Diddy. In 2001, Ashley Ellerin, a 22-year-old woman he planned to go on a date with, was murdered. Kutcher testified that he arrived at her house late, looked through the window.
Now, Ashton Kutcher as well also runs a child protection thing, I think it's called Fawn, where he's trying to save children. But we know now a lot of these people use this thing for child trafficking to actually not expose it, but to gain from their own benefit. He was also married to Demi Moore, and there was a video of Demi Moore kissing a 12-year-old or a 13-year-old boy. I just feel as if there's a lot of darkness around these people. I feel as if they feel as if they're untouchable. I genuinely think he could be next Ashton Kutcher. Am I wrong here, or could this be right?
Saw what he thought was a wine stain on the floor and left without calling the police. That stain turned out to be her blood. Years later, serial killer Michael Gargiulo was convicted of the crime. But many still wonder, why didn't Kutcher call the police that night? Why was he frantically contacting his manager afterward? Was there more to his relationship with Ashley than he admitted? Now, Chrissy Bixler, a former girlfriend of Danny Masterson, has accused Kutcher of lying. She claims that on the night of the murder, he called Masterson in a panic, and she overheard the entire conversation. In an explosive Instagram post, she wrote, Ashton,
100% in court in front of a room of people. And so that's the other thing that's awful. They are going to be watching basically porn for hours on end in front of people. So in front of victim one, whoever it may be, there's going to be porno played in the federal courtroom.
And victim one would have been made aware of this?
Oh, 100%. She's probably being told right now, like, this is going to be played in open court. Your sex history, your sex life is going to be talked about in open court. All of this.
And presumably then she knows that and she's pushing forward because she hasn't withdrawn.
But don't forget this.